What's up guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm glad that you're here. I want to tell you guys that this video is sponsored by The Ridge. I'm sure you guys have seen lots of different advertisements from The Ridge. They reached out to me and wanted to partner for a video, and I'm very excited to do so. You guys know that obviously I take all the camera gear to the stand with me, and I've been using some cheaper camera backpacks that usually typically don't last and don't hold up to not necessarily the abuse that I give them, but the use more than anything. Pretty easy on my equipment for the most part. I try to take care of a lot of the things that I buy or have been given. But with that being said, I wanted to show you guys this Ridge backpack. It is awesome. I've used it for a couple of hunting trips now. I went for the OD green color. What I really like about this backpack is the fact that it has this zipper here that opens up this way, because whenever I sit in a stand, I lay this backpack across my lap or even on the ground, and everything is here. It's easy to get to. Here's the bag that I used to hold my batteries. Here's a bag that I use to keep extra camera attachments in, my GoPro, my night vision camera, my sniper hog light for whenever I'm doing some night hunting. It's got some extra pockets up here that are super convenient for me, and overall the thing is just very, very well built. They have wallets, they have backpacks, and other accessories. You guys can go check it out at the ridge.com, or I'm sorry, ridge.com, and you can also use code ridge.com/4B and save yourself a little bit of money on your order. Go check it out, guys. I really encourage you to do so. This thing is super comfortable. It's got more than one pocket, of course. It's got multiples actually, and this one right here I really like. I keep some extra camera arm stuff stored in here for the time being, but what I normally do is if I'm going on a trip that I know that's going to be several days long, and I'm going to need to edit while I'm on the road, it's a perfect spot for my computer and other accessories right here on the side, which is super convenient for me. It's a magnet. It's very, very quiet. Magnetized little pocket there to keep stuff in there. Over here on this side, believe it or not, this is one of the most exciting things about this whole backpack to me, is the rigidity, sorry for the wind noise, and the strength and the overall build of this here cup holder. As I always take something to drink with me to the stand, and what ends up happening to me is this little strap right here on these cheaper backpacks that I use, they blow out, and then this thing is worthless to me. So very, very well built and thought out design here. I've been really, really liking this backpack, and I just want to encourage you guys once again to go to ridge.com, use code 4B to save yourself some money, and check it out. Huge thanks to the Ridge for sponsoring this video. I really, really appreciate it. Moving forward, I want to give you guys the verse of the day before we go ahead and fully jump into this video and I show you guys what we're doing. Today's verse comes from Proverbs chapter 23, verse 24. It says, "The father of godly children has cause for joy. What a pleasure to have children who are wise." There's a lot to say and unpack about that particular verse, but I like to look at that verse in a way that encourages me to dig deeper into the word, to be more wise. Not that being wise is going to get you into heaven, but being able to understand the gospel and understand the word of God is very, very important for our walk and our call in life. So I want to encourage you guys right there with that. But as you can see right here, we have the Plow. For the first time in a long time, we are doing a food plot video, and you're probably wondering, hey man, why in the world are you fixing to plow this little food plot up again? Didn't you plant it back in the spring? As a matter of fact, I did, and I'm hoping for some advice here, guys, because what happened to me was I planted this plot. It's like about a third of an acre plot, and whenever I planted it, I want to say maybe I have a lot of mixed thoughts, and I'm really unsure as to why this plot is not growing like I was expecting it. Now what I mean by that is, if you guys look on the ground right here, it's nothing but weeds and native grass that has come back up, and I'm really kind of confused as to why, because the seed that I planted, there's a couple of different brands. There's two different bags. One was a Boontown seed mixture that I bought, and I planted it in half this plot, and then I had on this half, it was like a $20-something bag of some cheaper stuff that was also meant to be planted in the spring that I bought from Orchlands or some outdoor store. Anyway, obviously I've got some little mesquites trying to grow back up in here. I've got just weeds. There's some native grass, some bull nettle. Like, this stuff didn't take off. Now, you guys saw in the previous video, the previous food plot video, where I showed you guys this plot here was really green and starting to look pretty good for the most part. And so I kept checking on it, and we got loads and loads of rain on top of it. And I'm not sure if it just got choked out, or if the sun killed it off, or what happened. I'm really pretty ignorant to food plots just in general, and so I'm hoping that you guys can help me out with a little bit of information down below in the comments section. That helps me out a ton. And by the way, I'm going to announce the giveaway winner for the previous video very, very soon, and actually towards the end of this video, so you guys want to stick around for that. But yeah, there's nothing left from the original plant, and I can't figure out why. So what I'm going to do is, I've had oats planted on this lease before, and the deer just absolutely love it, of course. Now, one thing that I am going to run into is I'm going to have to fence this thing off, because the cows love oats as well. Now, that's not the big issue. I also have a bag of turnips. I'm thinking about planting some strips, or maybe just maybe one strip, or I just don't know how these animals are going to react to it. So I'm going to possibly put some turnips in here. I'm going to keep it separate from the oats. One really nice thing about being able to plant some oats is I can get some 2,4-D, and I can kill off any broadleaf weeds that may want to try to grow up in this plot. Of course, I have to keep it away from the turnips. As far as I know, I have to keep it away from the turnips, otherwise we'll kill them off. But I'm really excited to see how this thing is going to look. Now, it is early August here, and I'm usually wait until about the first week or the first few days into September before I plant oats. So it's coming up very soon, so you guys can expect some more food plot videos. Now, I have to get this thing, I have to break ground on this thing. It's been several days since it's rained. It's pretty dry. I just want to make sure that it's going to be easier to plow come September, which is coming very soon in the next month. Now, that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to come through here, plow everything up. As you can tell, there's not a whole lot growing up in here in certain areas. So part of me wants to take a soil sample and see what the deal is, what kind of fertilizer I need to add on top of it, other than just the basic stuff. But I'm not going to spray it and kill it this time. I'm just going to plow it and keep up with it, keep everything killed off, and then whenever September gets here, plow it one more good time, and then plant oats and hope for some rain, pray for some rain. Now, one thing that I do want to show you guys, which this plow is obviously new. You guys saw it in some previous videos. I didn't have any weights on it. So what my problem ended up being was I had to have my dad actually sit on the back right here to weigh this thing down. Now, what I did is I basically made some little trees and some hooks, and I was given some big 8-inch square tubing. They're about a foot long, 8x8, and I filled these up with concrete. So I've got almost an additional 300 pounds sitting on top of this thing. It's going to help me cut better. It's going to help make everything go quicker. And of course, I can take them on and off, which is super handy to me. And I think it's going to work out great. If I have too much weight and it's just too hard on this little bitty thing, I'll take it off. If it's not enough, then I'll leave them on there. But I think what I have on here right now is going to be plenty, and I think it's going to do me really, really well. So this little area all the way around here, I'm going to widen it out just a little bit. And what I'm going to do, there is a tower blind down several hundred yards away from me that was here from the previous people at least several years ago before I got it, and that tower blind is still there. This is another thing that I'm hoping I can ask you guys some questions on. I have some leads on some different things that I'm planning on doing with this tower blind. Now, the box that's on top of it's like a 4x4. It's a rifle blind. There's no way I can bow hunt out of it. So what I'm going to do is I want to take that box off, and I'm going to pull that stand over, load it on a trailer, haul it to my house, I'm going to weld the platform to where it is bigger. I can put a pop-up blind on top of it, and then that stand with the pop-up blind is going to go right here. It's about a 10-foot tall stand. I'm going to stick it right here in front of this cedar tree. As you guys can tell, and I showed it in a previous video, I trimmed all this back because originally I was just going to put a pop-up blind on the ground, but I prefer to be up in the air. What I was going to ask you guys is what your thoughts would be on this particular situation. I got a little bit of an issue here. So the tower blind that I was just telling you guys about, and the base of that box, I guess there were some holes left open or something, but there is copious amounts of bees that are living inside of that thing, and I don't know how I'm gonna get that tower off of, or that box blind off of that tower safely. So first of all, I think they're just regular honeybees. I could be wrong. I know there's a lot of different variants. I'm not a bee kind of person at all. I have zero knowledge on them basically, other than the fact that I mean, I see a bee and I call it a bee. Some of you guys may know better than I do. Now, what I've gotten in contact with some professionals, and they are saying that they can come. One gentleman in particular is saying that he can come and get them. Now, that sounds like the safest route to me. What I thought about doing for myself personally was crawling up there late in the evening whenever they're sleeping, or a little less willing to try to kill me, and I thought about trying to maybe smoke them out, get a smoker from Tractor Supply and smoke them out myself. Essentially what that does is whenever you start smoking bees is they think that there's a forest fire or something, so they go all the way to the hive, they gorge themselves on honey, getting ready to fly a long ways to get out of the area to survive. Now, if I do that, it makes them completely non-aggressive to my knowledge, and I've done a little bit of research, but not a lot. Now, to my knowledge, that's how they react, and then I can figure out how that box blind is secured to the tower, unsecure it, and then use my Polaris or a truck or something and just drag the box blind off of the tower and then make a run for the truck. It doesn't sound like the safest way to handle it. I'm thinking the professional route is probably the best way, but I want to hear what you guys have to say about the topic. I don't really know how I want to handle it just yet. I'm pretty brave, but that also kind of sounds like a stupid idea at the same time. Now, the tower is in fairly good shape. I can do a little TLC on it. I've got to do some welding on it anyway, and then I'm going to haul it back up here to this very location, put the pop-up blind on top of it. I think this will be a really great setup and a really great location for me late season while we're hunting. So let me know what you guys think about the whole bee situation. Definitely will be filming it, if whether I do it myself or have a professional come and get the bees. I know that I really don't want to harm them in any way, because they play such a vital role in our ecosystem and what they do, what their job is per se. They're very helpful to the environment, and I definitely don't want to kill them. But at the same time, I need my tower. So I think now that I've kind of talked about it here on camera, I think that's going to be the logical thing to do, is get a professional to come get them and move them somewhere else. Maybe he'll keep them in a hive or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, I say all that to say, let's get in the buggy and let's start plowing this little field. I think it's going to take me several hours at least. It's a very, very hot and warm day, about 100 degrees. Gotta love it. At least I got a good breeze. So here we go. Let's get to it. This is going to be, well, a lot of riding around, so it should be kind of fun. I don't know how many passes I've made. I lost count. but it's been a bunch. I got the ground looking better than it's ever looked since the first time I put the plot in. I've been very, very pleased with the turnout here. I just need some rain now, really. I've made tons and tons and tons of passes. Like I said, I don't know how many I've made, but it's been a bunch. But what I originally started out doing was just making rounds, and I'd go around and around and around and get closer and closer and closer to the center every time that I came through. And then what I started doing, because of the tightness and the skinniness of this plot, I started making figure eights. It was easier than going diagonal. I started making figure eights and coming this way, going up around here, making a figure eight, coming back through this way, so on and so forth. And it really, really helped. Right here, as you guys can tell, I'm getting a good, oh gosh, at least close to 4 inches, maybe 5 inches deep down in the ground, and I have the whole thing pretty much plowed up that way. It really looks way better than I anticipated on it looking after this afternoon. In 2 weeks, I will be coming back out here, and I'm going to disc it all once again. Still not going to plant anything. I'm going to wait until September. I'm going to put my oats in here. You guys will see that, of course, but I'm going to put my oats and my turnips in. I'm very excited on how that's going to turn out. One thing that I definitely am going to need is some rain. Like, for sure, I'm going to need some rain. I'm a dusty mess. I'm all dirty and everything because of every time I made a pass, the wind blowing out of the south was coming right across me and just killing me. So yeah, I'm definitely going to need some rain on this plot, but I am thoroughly impressed and very pleased with the way that it turned out with adding the weight system to it, other than the fact that I had some breakage going. But I enjoy it. It's fun running around here and turning a raw piece of property into something that's beneficial. With all that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope that you enjoy this and that you'll keep up with the process and that you'll keep up with some of these little bit more boring videos. I know that it's not a whole lot of fun to watch, but it's going to be really fun whenever you guys get to see the whole start to finish progress, and we're shooting deer off this thing come October, November, December, even January and February. So I'm very pumped for it. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in just a few days.